What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, people keep saying I need some black joy in my life, or we need to see more black joy. And honestly, that sounds nice, but I don't think everyone really understands what black joy is, right? Black joy isn't just a smile or a dance or a laugh. It's not just watching a black person being happy on your screen, right? Or anything like that. Black joy is a result of centuries of pain, of survival, and of strength, right? It's the flower that grew through concrete. I like to think of it like that, right? I mean, black joy comes from slavery, from segregation, from being told that we couldn't sit here, we couldn't live here, we couldn't learn here, or even exist peacefully. I don't want to say too much. Let's watch the clips and we'll be back with some commentary. Please let me know what your thoughts are as we go. I really want to know what you think about this. But yeah, let's watch and we'll be back with some commentary. Also, credit goes to the original creators. And quick disclaimer, this is just for education and, commentary purposes.
I need some black joy. The fact that black joy even exists as a concept in the world is miraculous to me. Asians are no good at joy. We are good at working hard and being diligent and doing our best, but not joy. Colonizers too. Rich lives, no joy. We should never have hooked our stars to theirs. But black people, especially black Americans, are the best at joy. You've turned it into an art form. I know it came from terrible hardship that you've turned into soul and then into joy. And we, Chinese people, we just turn that hardship into more hard work. But I know you can't give it to us. We have to go out and earn it for ourselves just like you did. Joy is a puzzle for every human being, and it's not free. When I ask my black friends where their joy comes from, they inevitably shake their heads and just repeat, "You can't let them take it away from you." That's what it's not. But what is black joy? Can you tell me?
Asian woman came on here and asked, what is black joy? And y'all decided to answer that question. Y'all decided to answer that question. Y'all can't keep nothing to yourself. So I'm going to answer the question now. I want you to sell your parents and grandparents and put them into slavery. I want you to take your sisters and brothers, cousins, and have people hang them from a tree. I want you to have your kids be sold into slavery. I want this to happen for 400 years. 400 years. I want you to fight for your freedom, or try to fight for your freedom. I want you to fight for it and only get equal rights, as they will call it. I want you to understand everything that you do will excel, but the people above you will not allow you to excel. So they steal from you, they take from you, and they plan it as their own. I want you to keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting until you feel you have no more fight anymore. And that's when your black joy will come.
Is knowing that we're going to be okay. Black joy is knowing that we have a connection to the divine that no other race of people have. We know that at the end of it all, we're going to be the one standing victoriously. We don't have a reason to fret. We don't have a reason to fear. We have no reason to be unhappy. We know that we've been through the worst of the worst, and we decided that we want to stand because we have a divine calling on our lives that far exceeds anything on this plane. Black joy can't be defined in words. Black joy it's an action. It's alive. It lives, it breathes. It has a pulse. You can't get that. We can't give it to you, as you said. You can't achieve it because y'all have internalized rage. And what that is that you don't know why you can't be like us. And as long as y'all have that shortcoming, you'll never know what joy is. Sorry. Not sorry.
I've come to the conclusion that a lot of white people are irritated by black joy. I was thinking about when Kamala was running for president, Vice President Kamala Harris was running for president, and the Republicans made so much of her laughter. It obviously agitated them so much that she was joyful and would laugh, that it was like they wanted to put out her light. And I've had a few instances that I've mentioned. One just yesterday, again, with some black girlfriends at dinner, out enjoying ourselves, laughing, not loud, but joyful, having great conversation. And this woman behind us had such a scowl. She could not enjoy her own meal because she was so fixated on us. And I know that last time I've mentioned stuff like this, white women, would say, or people would come in my comments and say, oh, y'all would just be acting inappropriately. That's why they were looking, which we weren't, because of course always the blame has to be on us. And it's not far-fetched to be truthful about your resentment of other people's joy. And because you can't grow unless you're truthful about what you need to work on. I remember being in stores and out and about and seeing white kids running around and acting in a way that, would have gotten me in trouble when I was a child. And I felt resentful because I felt like they had the freedom to do it. And I was so strict with my 2 young black boys because, I believe there's a pressure in the United States for black people to behave a certain way or we get called out very quickly, particularly black boys. And I always would correct them when we were in public, when they were acting like kids, frankly. I never wanted my kids to be seen as bad. And so I resented the freedom that white kids had to just be wild. I still thought they were kind of bad, but the fact that they had the freedom, I resented that, right? I don't know why white people resent it. And that's something that they need to investigate. But I do believe greatly that a lot of white people are annoyed, agitated, resentful of black joy. So I think that white people should work on that. I'm serious. Work with a therapist, do some personal deep diving and figure out why it agitates you. Is it our freedom? Is it jealousy? What is it? And then, for black people, my directive would be have more joy. Agitate the fuck out of people. Joy is your right. You deserve it. And what I think is incredible is that we are able to find joy often in spite of. Keep on being happy. Keep on finding moments of joy. Enjoy each other. Smile and laugh. Laugh so much that people have to talk about it, like they did with Vice President Harris.
All right, racists, let's talk about your distaste for black joy. Racist America fumes at the sight of happiness, especially when that person smiling is black. It's as if this country specializes in anger Olympics. Being a little too happy disturbs the patriotism. 3 or more laughs in one place is like being investigated by a mall cop. I'm gonna need to see some ID. Because deep down, they believe that pain is the only state that black indigenous people are allowed to live in. Black people start laughing too loud at their cousin's cookout. They throw on some Frankie Beverly. They start dancing with their auntie in a sundress while the ribs are sizzling. Instantly, their lives are in danger. It's like watching a perfect example of a case study on people who have a problem with control. It's like their obsession isn't just with control, it's like with the optics of it as well. They want to be seen as dominant in the space because they seem to disappear when there is black joy. When you throw your graduation cap in the air, surrounded by your entire family in matching t-shirts, they don't see achievement, they see defiance. Because in their minds, success was never black people's storyline. The truth is, black joy is a glitch in the racist lies that they feed themselves. They built a whole myth of superiority that only works if you're miserable, delusional, insecure, jealous, and mediocre. When black people shift the world with their joy and laughter, the racist's entire self-image starts to crack. This is why racists gatekeep golf courses, ban urban dress codes, side-eye loud laughter, and call the cops when the music's just a little too bassy. The unnecessary hate and determination to ruin black people's happiness is a disease, a brain-eating amoeba that siphons the cognition out of America's privileged society. And what hurts the most is that happiness and black joy is more infectious.
I think white people are so triggered by black joy because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
They don't get to be the leader. I'm going to keep saying this with my whole chest because some people are not deep thinkers. I understand that you're not a critical thinker. This is not for you. It's just not for you. Scroll up. So, my point today is, well, not today, but at this moment, like, why does Black joy bother some white people? And some other groups, but majority is white people. And not all of you. You know what I'm talking about. You ever notice how the group of Black folks, like, they come together laughing, dancing, and just vibing, and suddenly it's labeled as too loud, too ghetto, or too much? Jealousy. Jealousy. You know why? Because they couldn't strip that away. And it's surviving. But let's be real. It's not about the volume that's the problem. It's the vibrations. It's the freedom. It's the fact that we can still find joy after centuries of trying to be stripped of who we are. We still make something out of nothing. You understand? See, Black joy is like disruptive in certain people. It challenges. And where we're supposed to be broken, angry, and silent, it's like loving, living, and celebrating. So it's not just confusion. It's threatening to a certain group of people. Because Black joy, for us, is power, is resistance, it's healing, it's ancestral. Of all the things they said we could not do, it's lies. Remember, we were here way before other groups were here. And now our happiness is not a performance. It's reclaiming who we said we always were. So the next time somebody looks uncomfortable with your Black joy, remember that. You're not the problem. They're just uncomfortable and can't believe that after all this time, we are still celebrating who we are and who we are meant to be and who we are growing to be. So tell me, have you ever felt like your joy made somebody else uncomfortable? Let's talk about it, y'all. To me, I don't give a flying fuck who feels uncomfortable. This is my life, my body. And if you feel uncomfortable, move the fuck away. Right. Because where I was for Black Bike Weekend, we were on the side, I'm not going to say the grown folk side, but we like our peace. So, of course, it was a mix of Black and white people. Like, we all around each other. We all talking to each other. You think anybody grabbed their purse because they see bikers in leather? No, they're used to it. They're talking, they're waving, they're like, oh, let me tell me about your bike, blah, 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 blah. These are people talking, not afraid and not jealous. There are some, but we didn't cross any this weekend, okay? But have y'all ever experienced that? Like, you having joy, you having celebration, especially with all the graduates. Did you see those comments talking about Black fatigue in the comments of Black joy celebrating the college? See, the point that I'm trying to get at is no one who doesn't, how can I say this? If you Black, you understand. It comes naturally. And it doesn't matter what state you from. We all have a common denominator of celebrating our Blackness. And people can't stand that. People can't stand that. And I'm not just talking about in America. If we go somewhere else, Black joy is celebrated different ways, but we still have that common denominator of celebrating of what we achieve regardless of the fact.
So when someone from another race says we want some of that Black joy, I get what they mean, but it's wild, right? I mean, of all the people in the world, you want to be the ones who have been most oppressed, right? The ones who had to fight tooth and nail just to smile. Because being Black isn't just a vibe. Being Black is a legacy of pain, power, and perseverance, right? I mean, if I could choose to be any race, I'd probably pick white, right? Just to know what it feels like not to be followed in a store, or just to be able to walk down the streets without being seen as a threat, or to know that if I got pulled over, I'd actually make it home alive, right? That is white privilege, the freedom to live without fear. But what makes it Black joy, what makes that so beautiful is the fact that we've learned to find light even in the darkest places, right? We've learned to laugh when we should have been broken. We've learned to dance when the world told us not to move. And that is why they hate it, because they can't understand how we still shine, right? And that is what Black joy is, and that's what makes it powerful. Anyways, credits to all the original creators featured in this video. This is for educational and commentary purposes only. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to know what your thoughts are. And as usual, I'll see you on my next one.